in that matter because the first Deputy Speaker is named by the orders to chair the committee. So if you are insisting that the first Deputy Speaker shouldn't chair, are you going to amend the standing orders to accommodate another person to be the chair? That's point number one. Point number two, if any member is conflicted, maybe so he has some interest in a business that is referred to a committee, that person can opt out to say that, no, this matter has come before us of a personal interest, so I'm opting out. Once he does that, it is for the caucus to replace him. And that's the rule. So unless maybe you don't know about that, if you say that way, assuming without admitting that it's possible for the first Deputy Speaker to abdicate, there must be a replacement from the caucus that he represents. Thank you.
My name is Clement Akolo. I report for Parliament News 360. Leader, I heard you say that the matter of the privileges of the three MPs ends with the Privileges Committee, and you back that with the constitutional injunction. But please help me. We've been here when some members were referred to the Privileges Committee. I remember Black Rasta and Co. He ended up in plenary. So maybe you will help with some education at that point. But also, let me respond quickly to that. I don't know whether, if you went back to it, when the matter came before us, I raised the issue. I raised that issue, that the determination is made by the committee. The Speaker disregarded it and said, oh, because it's a matter of public interest. But I said, I disagree with that procedure. The thing is, repeating a bad precedent that would not write the fact that what was done was wrong.
No, please.
One question. Or your opinion, you say that, yes, I think there's not that details. We are wondering as to whether to believe you or believe Finance Minister for you to say that the controversial bill now out of Parliament is being implemented. And the purpose of that bill is, first of all, to collect money through Momo transaction. And you say that it's being implemented. And you again made the point that Finance Minister says that the collection will start 1st May. Who do we believe? Is it the case that they are already collecting the money without telling us the facts?
I think that greeted your question. She suggest to you that you're not listening when I said what I said. A road. What did you say? No, please speak to the mic. The thing is, we have a contract agreement to construct a road, right? The contractor has moved to site because he's been given the agreement has been signed. The contractor moves to site. You think it's not part of the implementation of the agreement? You must see bulldozers before you call it implementation. Is that your understanding of implementation? Thank you very much.
Leader, Bureau of Education, you talked about the approval or the passage of the 2022 budget by your side. First was the rejection by the minority side, and the rejection, the alleged rejection, the purported rejection, okay, by the minority side, which was then reversed by your side. When Speaker returned from his trip, he mentioned that, and he repeated that during the passage of the E-levy, that walking out of the chamber doesn't mean absence. So to him, he was not looking at the 137 as you mentioned, which was then realized after your side had called for a division. against the Speaker's ruling, and then subsequently walked out. He repeated that during the approval of the E-levy, that the fact that the minority had walked out doesn't mean that even if on paper we could tell that your side could have maximum 137, even if, big if, the House will not have a quorum under Article 104 to take a decision or for any decision to be taken. Now, how do you then reconcile that against the Supreme Court's judgment, which upheld your approval of the budget using the numbers you had then? As again, yes, the Supreme Court actually, the Justice Abdullahi case, the Justice Abdullahi case sent two matters. First was the minority's decision to reject the budget, purported rejection, which was then shut down by the Supreme Court, and then the approval, which had the first deputy speaker counting himself as part of the numbers for decision taking, upheld. That was in the judgment. It is in the same line that many are asking the question, for which I'm asking for clarification from your end, that if the same matter goes to the court, how then do you reconcile the two?
I don't recollect that the Supreme Court made a pronouncement on what we did. I think the matter related to whether or not the Speaker, the first deputy Speaker, can have a vote. My own position has always been that the deputy speakers, and indeed deputy speakers everywhere in the world, have votes. What the Supreme Court went further to say was that whereas Article 104 is clear on the Speaker, that the Speaker, because it's not a member of Parliament, does not have an original or casting vote, same is not repeated on deputy speakers. Our own standing order, it is that provides, or that provided, that deputy speakers, while they are presiding, cannot have an original vote. I, at the time, had said that even if you go by the standing orders, what it means is that they can have a casting vote. That is whilst presiding. So that very day when the unfortunate situation happened in Parliament, when some colleagues wanted to go and remove the seat of the Speaker, I said, even by our standing orders, the speakers, even whilst presiding, cannot be denied of their casting vote. So they can have a casting vote. Now, what the Supreme Court said to us was that that provision in our orders, that is Order 109, where we have imposed a burden on the deputy speakers that whilst presiding, they cannot have an original vote, is inconsistent with the Constitution. Because the Constitution does not impose any burden on the deputy speakers whilst presiding. They may elect to have an original vote or a casting vote. So our orders, to the extent that they were forbidding them from exercising one of the votes, is inconsistent with the intendment of the Constitution. That was what the Supreme Court ruled on. And it's the same rationalization that I brought to bear when I said that the Constitution provides that that is the 97 that I provided. I read to you. The 97, which provides that there shall be a member of Parliament shall vacate his seat in Parliament if any of the matters related to A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H occurs, then automatically there shall be a vacancy. Now, that is 97. If you come to Article 112 of the Constitution, 112(5) of the Constitution provides, that is 97 is saying that there shall be a vacancy, so and so. When you come to 112, it then tells you that wherever a vacancy occurs in Parliament, It is the clerk to Parliament who shall notify the Electoral Commission in writing within 7 days after the vacancy occurred. So that day, if you heard me, I said the Speaker has no role in the declaration of a vacancy, which is what our standing orders has imposed. The standing orders provide that where there's a vacancy, the Speaker must make a declaration of vacancy. That really is inconsistent with the Constitution. That is why I said, if it is taken to the Supreme Court for interpretation, I believe, like they did for 109, that provision in the standing orders will be shut down because the Speaker has no role with respect. He has no role. So if a Speaker decides, somebody dies, right? Perish the thought. A member dies. And a Speaker decides that I will not make a declaration of a vacancy. To that extent, a vacancy will not be declared. No. That automaticity is granted under Article 97. And when it happens, the onus falls on the clerk to transmit by communication to the Electoral Commission. That's what I said that day. I thank you very much.
Okay, so we'll draw the curtains. So your leadership should see me be in respect